you want, this is the key to being going from being an okay coach to being a great coach, is learning to analyze. And these are the things that we want to give you to analyze. Like Jay said earlier, we're going to start giving you guys some tools in order to help you become a better coach. I've been doing this for so long. If a kid isn't throwing a strike, I can figure out in about 3 throws what's going on and fix it. Right? I can analyze it, I can figure it out, and I know the tools necessary. As young coaches or guys who are just coaches that are just getting into this is the hardest part to develop. So what we're going to do is we're going to be out there, either me or another Toro coach, twice a month. Did we talk about that? Twice a month, right before practice. So 30 minutes before practice, I'm going to do a little training on hitting. All right, or right before practice, we'll do a little thing on catching pop flies. So right before your practice starts, we'll give you that. Second thing is we're going to start using YouTube. And what we're going to do is I'm going to develop outfield drills, infield drills, pitching drills. And so you guys can, right before practice starts or during the day or even after practice, pull up your phone and get to our YouTube channel and say, ground balls, ploop, and you'll see my drills for ground balls, right? Because we want to help you be able to do, we can analyze something, and that's like what happened this week on Tuesday. Coach is like, hey, coach, I know he's not throwing strikes. I analyzed that, but now how do I add, subtract, or fix it, right? Well, this is what you have to do. And so if you'd had those videos, and we're going to do that here shortly, we would have had those videos, it would have been quick for him to be able to fix that. But we came out there and helped him. So you'll see us out there. Analyze. Good instructors are good analyzers. Be aware of what is wrong and have an idea to fix it before yelling instructions. I love this. I love coaches that talk and communicate, but you need to understand this. Don't yell anything if you don't know what you're yelling. As a high school coach or coach has been doing this, one of the things that gets me I laugh at it now is coaches, a pitcher gets up there and he throws a ball and it's a ball, right? He misses. And the coach comes out of the dugout and he yells, "Throw strikes!" And like the pitcher's like, oh, I didn't know that. I got this now. Okay, I'll throw a strike now. No. He's trying. He's trying real hard. So don't yell throw strikes or don't yell hit the ball. They're trying. If they're failing, we got to figure out what's wrong and fix it before we yell. You be around and we're going to encourage you guys every winter, the Toros, we put on our Winter Academy. And so what that means is the Toro teams come out on Monday will be hitting, Tuesday will be fielding, Wednesday will be pitchers and catchers. And they come out for an hour and a half, and our coaches, our Toro coaches, run them through drills, all of our Toro. And you can start seeing these coaches talk to them, and you'll realize that they don't yell, throw strikes. They don't yell at them, hit the ball. They're actually giving them instruction, right? Hey, your elbow's too fast. Hey, and we'll talk about some of this stuff in a little bit. Hey, your hips are flying out. Hey, you're not loading. All those kind of things. We give them instruction. So we need to understand this, okay? We're going to give you the tools to do it. Now, what happens sometimes is you got to understand a T-baller can only take a little bit at a time, right? It's one cup. You can't have them drink out of a fire hose. And that was, once I learned how to be an analyzer, I wanted to give these coaches, I wanted to give my players everything, right? So it's funny, you see, I'm hopefully more mature now, but it's funny to watch these coaches. My son's 16 years old, and we're playing in a tournament, and this other team comes up to bat, and the coach says, hey, turn your hips, make sure your backside goes through, get your hands through, make sure you're on plane, don't let your head fly out. And that kid's like, what? And he gets in the batter's box and is like, you gave up all of this information right before the pitch is thrown, right? So we want it to be a little bit at a time, a cup of water at a time, okay? Learn how to add, subtract. We're going to give you those things. You're going to have to learn how to see a skill, and we're going to say, how do we change it? How do we develop it? We need to do a better job at Spring Spirit of giving you that. Those of you who've been here for a couple years, we've kind of let you been on an island all by yourself. We said, here's your bag. Go out to left field and coach some kids. We need, like you said, the board wants us to develop better baseball players. We want to make that impact development-wise. And so we want to give you the tools in order for you to do this. Again, this is a big, big key for you as a coach, is how to develop that, how to analyze, and then work through that. Any questions on that? This is an important part of what we do. I'm not going to say that they're all important, that's why they're up here, but a challenger, right? Be the best at any practice and or competition. We want to teach them to give us their very best. We want them to compete, but we have to challenge them in that way. So we need to find ways to challenge them through our baseball, right? And it's hard. I'm a competitor. I like to play. I like to win. When my kids were younger, my wife would get mad because we played Candyland with our kids, and I'd want to win. I'd want to beat my kids, and she's like, "It's Candyland. Let them win." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta win." And that's just part of what I am, and so it came from being a competitor. I had to compete for a job in high school, compete for a job, and we want to teach them that. We want to challenge them that, but we want to give grace and help them grow. Okay, we need to challenge them, but we want to make sure that we don't want to turn them into this thing that's ultra competitive. We have to win at all costs. You're going to have to dive everywhere. But we want to challenge them. The best way to teach kids to challenge them is to find games inside of practice. Right? Real simple one. We put 2 cones, and we put the kid diving distance from the cone. And as a coach, I get in front of them and I roll it so they have to stop it, like a goalie, right? Whether it's catching it or diving for it or get in front of it, whatever it is, they have to move. And if they catch the ball, they get back in line. And if they miss the ball, they have to sit out, right? And it's 2 things. Number one, we're teaching them to compete against each other because they all want to win. Second thing is it's baseball related, right? We're still learning to move our feet. We'll talk about that later, making sure our hands in the right placement. So we add those kind of competitive mentalities through it, throughout of a practice that we get them to compete, but yet still get baseball. The 3 G's. This is part of my life motto. I had a college coach teach me this, and it really changed my life. When I work with a team, work with a coach, when we work with a player, I tell them all the time, understand the 3 G's. And what I mean by that is when a coach talks to a player, you need to tell your kids, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to get after you because I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to challenge you to be great. But when I get after you, remember this. Get what the coach is saying. If I'm telling you to move your feet, then you need to understand what I mean by that. And as a coach, it goes back to being a good communicator, good analyzer, right? But get what the coach is saying. The second thing is grow from it. Get it and grow. Grow means let's not do it again as much. It's going to happen because they're kids. But I'm going to start moving my feet. I'm going to grow from it. And the last one, the most important one, is to get over it. Right? The moment's over. Coach isn't going to think about it no more. Get what the coach is yelling at you about, grow from it, and then let's get over it. And those are important parts of the puzzle for them. My guys still come and talk to me now, kids I coach, and like, my boss chews me out, and he comes and says, "You're one of the best guys in my division. Because I come and get on you, hold you accountable, and you don't shake your head at me, and you don't try to back talk me, you don't try to wiggle your way out of it. You're like, okay, yeah." Because I said, "Coach, I get what he's saying, I want to grow from it, and then I just get over it." It's a process for these kids as we go through this. Challenge them. This is one of the biggest words I've ever had in coaching baseball, and I know it might sound silly. I believe in you. If you watch me coach our high school team, you'll see me in third base batter's box after I give signs and I'm talking to them. I'll say, "Hey, let's go. Hey, I believe in you right now. I believe that you can do this." And that's one of the biggest words you can use at Little League Baseball is "I believe in you." Right? We talked about earlier about encouraging them to run to first base. We talked about, hey, being for them and giving them cards. But one of the biggest things is, hey, I believe in you. Because a bunch of our kids never hear this. Never hear this. And it's amazing what they'll do for you. They'll go through a brick wall like, "Man, Coach believes in me. Man, give me that bat. I'm ready to go." Like, let's get after it. I believe in you. You can do this. If you're a parent, this is a great thing for you and your athlete. Not, "Hey, you should have run harder." Not, "Hey, you should have, hit the ball farther." Hey, I believe in you. Because as a baseball player, again, we go back to we fail. 7 out of 10 times our greatest players fail. When you fail so much, you need to leave. Hey, you're going to get it. I believe in you. And this comes from you. And if the coach, like I said, you have that special place in their life as their coach. If their coach says, "I believe in you," oh man, they get pumped. They get excited. They're like, "I can do it." That's one of the biggest things. We want to challenge them. "I believe you can do this. You can do this. I believe in you." "Oh, I don't want to go hit." You'll get those kids. "I don't want to go out in the field." "No, I believe in you. You can do this. Come on. I know you can. Let's go. You and me will do it together. I believe in you." Big, 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 big words. I believe in you. I can't thank you enough for being here, for being a part of this, because you understand that you are their heroes. Again, not all of them you're gonna think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, but a lot of them are gonna believe in you. A lot of them, you're gonna be their heroes. You're having, like I said, you're having a bigger impact than you think. My question is, what are you modeling? As the hero, what are they gonna see? Are they gonna see you get mad after every kid strikes out? When I was a young coach, I would be known to break a clipboard or throw a hat every once in a while. And then I started seeing my players start to do the same thing. And so, just to give you a little insight, your weaknesses and strengths will become your team's weaknesses and strengths. If you lose your temper quick, you'll see your team start to lose their temper, lose their focus quick, right? Whatever you are, that's what the team's going to be. My question is what you're modeling. My heroes. This is Chad Fox. He's my Little League coach. He's the one that he was the teacher of the game. He really taught me the game as a young coach. As a young kid. I was a gifted athlete. My dad played college basketball. Athleticism was just part of our family, but he taught me the game of baseball. And not only that, but he taught me to love it. I just loved it. From a little kid, he just would teach me things, and I'd want to go to practice. I couldn't wait to go to practice the next time to say, what is he going to teach me now? What am I going to learn today? As a little kid, it was amazing. He was just my hero in that. Next was my high school coach, Coach Champagne. He demanded excellence from me. He called me in his office as a sophomore in high school, and I'm old. I went to Cy-Fair, graduated in 1990, and we only had JV and varsity back then. Now they have sophomore teams. So as a sophomore, he brings me into his office and says, I'm going to put you on varsity. You're going to start at short, and you're going to bat third. But I'm going to demand that you give me your very, very best. And from that point on, I felt like for a while, as a sophomore in high school, I couldn't do anything right. I felt like I was his whipping boy. Every practice, every game, I felt like the only person he ever yelled at was me. But I came to realize, and I got home and I got frustrated. And I'm telling my dad, God. And my dad grabs me, old school Hispanic dad. Grabs me. Nah, really, he did this. Mijo, come here. Oh, God. No. He said, why is he doing that? And I said, he hates me. He's like, no, he's demanding excellence from you. And I came to realize now as a coach, as I got older, he had to be harder on me because all these juniors and seniors were like, what's this little sophomore doing on the team? But then he made me understand what it meant to be excellent and what it drove me. And when I worked harder, I got better. And when I worked even harder, I got even better. And so he was wonderful. He drove me to become who I am and what I did, and blessed to have him in my life. Another role model for me is a guy by the name of Mike Harris. Mike Harris runs a Christian baseball organization in the Champions area called Miracles Baseball. And he's talking about making miracles out of kids through the game of baseball. A wonderful guy. He scouted me, and he was a scout for the Cardinals. That's how I first met him when I was in high school. And he came to my games. He made me fill out some forms. We talked. Hey, if the Cardinals draft you, would you come? We spent a lot of time together. And then I didn't see him for a long time. And I went off to college, went off and did things, came back, and he saw me one day. And he's like, hey, do you want to coach? And I was like, no, I got my degree in business. I'm going to go be a rich CEO. This is going to be awesome. He said, they're paying $40 an hour to do hitting lessons. I said, how much an hour? Yeah, I'll go do that. And so I went to start working with him. He's like, hey, you want to be a coach of a team? I was like, man, I love baseball, but I want to go make $1 million being in business. He's like, just help me this summer. And so I helped him that summer, and it became natural. It just fit. And I actually started to enjoy it. And Mike was my hero because he said, hey, you're a dang good coach. He said, listen, I'm going to tell you something I'm not going to tell anybody else. You're a better coach than me. But don't tell any of my other employees. He says, you're going to be something special. And I was I was just newly married. Again, didn't know where my life was going, but he believed in me.